The Whiskey Bros, your source for whiskey, wine, and everything fine.
Okay, I think my mind's good. You good, man?
Before you go to whiskey.
Oh, we need to get the show on the road.
Your mic's good. You're hot.
I'm hot?
You're hot.
Okay, let's roll.
You are.
We're rolling?
Dare I say, fucking hot.
Thank you. Wearing my...
We're rolling. You should know this by now. I don't know, though. Maybe we don't because we're not professional.
Well, that's
Yeah, you remember that time Doc went on another podcast, dissed Ghost Bro, and then said...
Didn't even call us by our name.
Yeah, and then said we're unprofessional.
Yeah, I allowed them to say, hey, we're the Whiskey Bros podcast.
Yeah. And even though we're unprofessional, it's flattering at the end of the other podcast he was on that they asked to come on ours. So, I mean, now
dude, that'll be great.
Yeah, an obligation.
Having them out. Okay, check this out. It's Gut Check Project.
The Gut Check Project.
Is
you got to
it
type in the because it was a little tough to find until I typed in but I found it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's the one with me, but I didn't actually know this podcast was like as big as it was.
Yeah.
But in episodes prior to myself, Robert Malone was on there.
Was he really?
Yeah.
I haven't gotten that far back.
Yeah.
I remember it's been a couple of years. Dr. Robert Malone.
Yeah, I don't have a clue.
Yeah. Mr. Dr. RNA.
Mr. Dr.
mRNA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The dude who invented mRNA.
And then was like, we shouldn't be using this shit for COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is not a good thing to be using.
And then it was like Cancel
for.
Central after that.
Yeah. The man that invented the RNA.
Yeah. You can't say that
therapy.
shit.
Yeah.
No.
How dare he? But yeah, it's a pretty profound podcast. I remember being introduced to him a couple of years ago because Cooper was on with them.
Okay.
Yeah. And then let them slip through my fingers and completely forgot about them. But I'm glad you were on because now I have them followed and backtracking through the episodes.
Yeah.
But it was a really good episode for you to be a part of. It was a joy to listen to.
Well, I'm glad you liked it, man.
I think a lot of people got a lot of good information.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll say, I will plug that episode because it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I felt it was just kind of a free form exploration of what we do at Enzo and how the care we provide differs in very substantial ways. So yeah, give it a listen.
Give it a listen. It's a very professional podcast.
Yep. Unlike this one.
Unlike this one. Amateur hour, baby. Here we are. Yin Yin. Well, then Yin Yin, and then your partner Casey is going to be joining us.
She actually finally agreed.
Did you warn her that we're not professional?
Oh, she knows.
She knows.
I'm pretty sure she knows.
Yeah, she knows.
Do we need to have her sign a disclaimer in big bold letters that says, "Hey, even though you're a guest, this is an unprofessional podcast."
No.
When do we get to distinguish ourselves as professional?
That typed up.
I don't think we
anyway.
want to. Nobody wants us to be professional.
I think I like the idea of typing it up. I think we should have a big banner.
Yeah, I think we should probably get people to sign something when they come in.
Warning.
No matter what.
Unprofessionals in this room.
Hey, I will say,
maybe that's what we're doing with the door over here.
we are up to 17 listeners.
Oh,
what was that you did there though with your mouth?
No, it was supposed to be a hi-hat. Just.
But nobody does that. A hi-hat before.
It's a drum roll, bro.
No, that's a.
Yeah.
That's a drum roll.
Yeah, that's what everybody does. Nobody hits the hi-hat before something. No.
I don't know what world and planet you've been on, but it's always the drum roll.
It's the drum roll before something comes out.
Never you tell me what professional podcast studio has a door with 12 years worth of signatures on it.
Probably nobody. Or everyone. Who knows? I don't know. You've never been asked to be on another professional podcast.
Joe Rogan doesn't have people sign his door.
Joe Rogan's probably got a whole studio of signatures in it.
Yeah, they give him stuff like free cigars.
Yeah, $5,000 gifts.
Yeah.
If we ever
swords. I bet they give him swords.
Well, what's his face gave him? Was it who created the flamethrower? Was that Elon?
Oh, Elon.
Yeah, he gets flamethrowers. We get our door signed. Well, no, we
get some great.
We got some sweet whiskey from Homeboys. So
right.
Yeah.
If we ever are on Joe Rogan, are we gonna? Obviously, if we get invited to him,
but
maybe so, maybe not. I don't know.
Could happen.
Are we gonna bring him a bottle of whiskey?
Oh yeah.
Should we?
Yeah.
No, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think
at minimum.
I
Like,
think
what do
his
you
rule
take, Joe?
Pikesville is the best. I think you got to have a minimum of over 25 listeners.
Dude, we're getting there. We're getting there.
We're so close.
Another 5 years.
Dude, I bet.
we might make
Shit.
it.
I bet by next year we got 25 listeners.
Maybe.
Hey, baby, we'll just keep on trucking on.
Yep. Just keep on trucking.
Yeah, I think we should go to Scarborough Fair and we should buy him a sword.
I think it's already done, isn't it?
The sword?
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
sword.
yeah. You think?
You know he's got a sword.
Yeah, he's
Somebody
got
gave him a
multiple.
sword.
Yeah, I don't think we need to give him a sword. I think if I see him, I'm just going to walk out and slap him in the face.
Yeah.
Like who's doing that to Rogan? Nobody.
No,
I mean,
that's true.
I'm not going to get my ass kicked. I'm not saying that, but
Oh, yeah.
but what kind of story would that be? The Whiskey Rose showed up,
Slap Joe Rogan.
right in the
I would
face.
get my ass kicked by Joe Rogan. And
Oh
then-
yeah.
I like
for
to
sure.
memorialize that shit. I hope
Oh,
I get
yeah.
it on video.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, imagine the stories you could tell your grandkids.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, I got
Dad,
my ass kicked by
how'd you
Joe
get
Rogan.
that lazy eye? Well,
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan kicked me in the face.
We aspire to very big goals here.
Yes, we do.
And I got to, we need to announce, I guess we've got some guests coming on here in a little bit.
Yeah.
They're on the way. Matt Barrington, once again, from
Yep.
Locality, the craftsman of master
Yeah.
craftsman of drinks.
And the
cocktails.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Did I say that?
No.
Guardians. Yes, the Guardians of the Children. They're a local biker chapter here. And
Speaking of
it's
bikers,
a
y'all ever
charity.
thought about picking up dirt biking?
I would love to.
Yeah, I would. I don't know. I don't know if I got the right body type for
I don't know, but
dirt biking, but
it looks like she's
looks
lacking.
She looks intelligent.
It looks like she's
fun.
lacking
Yeah.
protection.
yeah, I don't think she's supposed to be wearing that on dirt bike.
She doesn't have knee pads on.
Yeah, she did. I think that's the only thing she had is knee pads.
Oh.
She got a
So,
helmet.
anyways, those guys are joining us here in a little bit. It'll be good to talk to them about an upcoming charity.
Chariot.
Man, I've got to get my shit under
Yeah,
control.
you threw your
Jesus.
phone on the floor a while ago.
This before you got here, Doc.
Look, this is what he did.
Trying
bro.
to get some stuff down. Yeah,
Look,
watch.
look, he goes, I'm going to put my phone on the desk, but this is how he did it.
I did not put my phone on the desk. I thought I put my phone on the desk
And he
and
threw it in the floor.
I put it in the air.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
It
grabbed
was like Wile E. Coyote whenever he goes off a cliff. It's
Yeah.
just like that phone like
Yep.
hangs there.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
little sound effects and everything.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But in the theme of the podcast that you just had and Dr. Robert Malone and that 16.5 million Americans at risk of stroke from
my God.
exercising too hard.
Is this new?
This is new.
Wow. I mean,
There you have it, folks. Don't exercise because you'll die.
yeah, don't.
Or maybe it's
God.
if you got a COVID shot, you shouldn't exercise.
Well, that-
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
This
right?
is the crap that's
Yeah,
going to
that's-
happen. They're just So obviously, these people in the picture aren't in the best of shape.
No.
Trying to get into shape.
And hell, here's what you don't do. You don't eat bacon and then go exercise.
I don't know. Why?
It's like triple risk of stroke.
Really?
Oh, really?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
gonna
I'm just adding to the study.
We've talked
Well,
it-
no, to the news article.
oh,
It's
yeah,
not a
don't
study.
eat butter.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I was going to say we've talked at length here about eating sodium and salt, and now you're backtracking. But I understand the joke now.
Wonder what the numbers are of that.
Okay, do they
16.5 Americans.
Link the study.
Yeah, go ahead. I wasn't talking. Go ahead.
Yeah, no,
No, it's
seriously.
cool. Go for it. Yeah.
No, keep going.
No,
What
I
is-
don't-
obviously what you have to say is more important. So go
no, I
ahead.
was just curious.
Well, he's the only professional here, man. So
Yeah.
I don't think. No, this is just the headline. I did not link it.
16.5 million Americans
What an outrageous-
at risk of stroke
Yeah.
from exercising too hard.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Wonder what the numbers are of those 16.5 that have been vaccinated that are stroking out.
100%.
Probably
Yeah. So
because there's a lot of that people like falling out.
yeah,
And it's
there was an
coming
NBA
back
player
to the, oh, there's
that
been
just died.
multiples.
But he at
Yeah.
first said, I think he had some sort of negative reaction to the COVID vaccine, and
Like an immediate reaction.
yeah, and ended up in some sort of cardiac situation which needed treatment. I think he had a outside of his body apparatus to keep his heart
Like a-
regulated.
pig heart.
Yeah,
No, it was like a life vest.
something like that.
Right.
And then the dude ends up dying anyway.
Yeah.
He was staunchly.
It's like a life vest is like a defibrillator
That you
you
wear.
wear around. Yeah,
Dang.
in case you're.
I needed one of those last week with this heat wave here. Holy
No,
shit.
that was no joke.
God, oh my
God, it was bad.
Yeah.
I had people from like hotter areas
Yeah.
that were telling me it's like worse here.
Global warming,
Yep.
climate
No,
change.
obviously.
Climate,
From cows
the
and
climate
pizza
crisis
Yeah.
was here in Texas for a week.
No, but back
We
to this.
chased it off, though.
Yeah, we did.
I think the grasshoppers probably did.
Yeah.
The back to this.
Mm-hmm.
It's how do you just throw that out there? 16.5 million Americans at risk. Okay, so
Where
that's
did this come from?
It feels like they're trying to explain something, like explain the phenomenon
God.
of sudden deaths.
That's what you should
Is
have
that what-
started
is that what
with.
they're
It
going
come
for?
from the New York Post.
Yeah.
No wonder.
I mean,
Well, yes, they do have pretty outrageous headlines, but if you read in detail
Yes.
their articles, it's derived from something factual.
but it sounds like a lot, but it's actually not. It's actually
16.5 million people.
yeah. So I'd have to do quick head math. But what is
There's
what percentage of the U.S. is?
4.3 billion in the United States. That's
No, there's like
population.
400 billion.
No.
No. Okay. Yeah. No, you're right.
yeah.
You're right. It's like 400 million, right?
Bill.
No. Maybe that's the population of the planet. Maybe it is. That's tough.
Hey Siri,
29 point.
how many people
Oh, no,
are there
that's
in
just.
the U.S.?
So just Texas is 29.53 million.
Sometimes it feels like it's just Dallas.
yeah, she totally didn't
There's
get what I said.
331.9
Moon
million
calendar. How
in the
big is
United
Texas?
States in 2021.
Okay, so it's like 4.3 billion worldwide.
Yeah.
So 16.5 million.
I
out
think
of
there's like
300
8 billion worldwide.
Is it up to that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not after.
COVID.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was
Not
saying.
after the New World Order.
I love the junk
population.
science. We're just throwing numbers out there.
The New World Order population controlled by Bill Gates and Klaus Schwab.
Oh,
Yeah.
here we go. So
Do
336
not listen
million.
to our junk science. How much?
336 million in the U.S.
Okay, so-
2023.
Okay, 16.5 divided by 300 and whatever.
Have you heard of the Georgia Guidestones?
Nope.
Okay.
What is that?
What is this like?
It's crazy. There's stones in Georgia that inscribed are basically like the 10 Commandments: be good to your neighbors, be kind to each other, blah. But also don't let the population get above 800 million people globally or something like that.
What?
Look at Savage, bro.
Okay, we're gonna have to look
Savage
this up.
down there. His inner thigh is tickling with me
Yeah.
rattling off these conspiracy
Okay.
theories.
I know. Hopefully my phone's listening. and pull it up.
So what answer did you get?
Oh, on the hang on. I stopped.
Yeah,
when he started
16.5 divided by the big number.
talking. 16.
Dead air.
Dead. That's a lot of zeros. How many zeros in a million?
6.
Yeah.
6. What's the big number? 336 divided by 3.
No, you just have to cut the zeros out and you do like 16.5 divided by 339.
What? Well, there was
0.048627.
Okay. So 4.8% of all Americans are at risk of stroke because of
Well, that would just be
too heavy exercise.
that would just be 4.6 on a daily basis, no matter what, right?
Yeah. It's like, but what a useless article because it doesn't really tell you anything.
It doesn't do it.
No.
It doesn't tell you anything, and it basically enforces lazy people's ideology of I'll never
Okay.
get any better. So
Right.
just yeah.
God,
How does one post come up with those numbers?
Okay, here it is. So look at this. In 2022, somebody exploded a device destroying the Swahili Hindi language slab because it's written in different
Oh,
languages.
yeah, we've seen that.
I didn't know that happened.
I've seen that.
Yeah, no, they had a video of a black blur. Somebody had like a ninja suit on,
Huh.
and it was gone. And then there's all kinds of video that's been tampered with, and
Interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
so here are the inscriptions. Maintain humanity under 500 million people in perpetual balance with nature. That is globally. Guide reproduction wisely. Improving fitness and diversity. Unite humanity with a living new language. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Boy, howdy. That would be nice to
Yeah.
apply to the United fucking States of America.
Probably
Dude,
go everywhere.
watch tomorrow's July. No,
No.
Nope.
the next day.
The next day.
Okay,
yeah.
you're fine.
July 4th is on Tuesday. That's a great one. Avoid petty laws. I mean, what is there in the United States Federal Book of Laws? I think there's like 36,000.
Yeah, but it's how they make their money.
Yeah. Balance personal rights with social duties. That sounds like communism. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature.
What hippie did this?
That's a good question. Nobody really knows.
Okay, so do they know how long it's been there?
It's got to be in here somewhere.
Well, it's on somebody's land.
It's got to be. No, it's on public land, I'm pretty sure. In June 1979, a man using the pseudonym Robert C. Christian approached the Elberton Granite Finishing Company on behalf of a small group of loyal Americans that commissioned the structure. So 1979. And he was using he was using an alias.
Yeah, and they're all dead now because they drank the Kool-Aid. So
Yeah, they thought they were going to be on the spaceship.
yeah.
Okay, so we just got to get rid of like 7 billion people.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's it.
Oh man.
Well,
but
that's
that's
what
not
they
the only
tried.
place as of lately that you hear population control popping up.
Oh, it's popping up.
And the Bill Gates circle, call it conspiracy or whatever.
Always.
Bill Gates seems to be a giant proponent of population control,
Is.
and the dude's buying farmland by the thousands of
Well,
acres
that's so he
at a
can
time.
make his fake.
That's what people
meat.
say about him. And my fear is it's true.
I mean, he's become an institution now, right? And
Oh yeah,
and we've preached.
Bill and
we've-
Melinda Gates Foundation.
yeah, we've preached on here. Beware of your institutions.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah, and no,
be.
we're not junk science. We have scientific minds here working.
Yeah, so
We got the Google like the rest of them.
that article is obviously
We got the New
junk
York
science.
Post.
But okay, so if you were going to actually kind of dig into that article, you could maybe find some rationale why it becomes a news story, right? So good science isn't sensational like that.
Yeah, good sciences, but you've got to draw.
It's rather
attention.
boring.
Yeah, you got to draw attention to the actual science, right? Like you have to get.
Yeah, they create these.
You've got to get the
sensational-
eyeballs or the ear holes, right? You've got to bring those
Right.
people in.
right?
So somehow, I get it. I get it.
Y'all want a 4-foot skull to put in here?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Somebody's selling it. It's at Bridgeport somewhere.
Yeah, let's put some more shit in here. That's all we need.
We got some space.
Right behind the drum set.
Yeah.
How much is a
over there.
4-foot skull?
They have it for sale for $400.
Oh my! Is it like paper mache or?
It doesn't say. It has. It does have 2 swirling laser lights for eyes.
oh
Oh,
my!
that's kind of
yeah.
cool.
Well, I need that just for Halloween in
I know,
our
right?
house.
Yeah, that would be awesome in the little.
We're the Halloween
hope.
house on in our block.
Yeah,
Man.
we're gonna have to do it up better
Big.
this year.
I got a new grill this year.
I'll try to scare more people.
Oh, look at that wood-fired grill. That
Yeah.
looks so good.
New York City rules crack down on coal. Wood-fired pizzerias must cut carbon emissions by up to 75%.
Yeah.
You know that's got to piss some people off.
Now it's the wood.
Jesus.
Yeah, now it's the wood and the coal. Just from
Leave New
pizzerias.
York.
Yeah. Leave.
That's the-
I think
yeah.
they are. I
That's the
think
best
they
thing to
are.
do.
They're
It's like,
coming.
pack up your pizza oven, bring it
Just
here.
don't come to
Yeah.
Texas.
Well, they're going to. So eventually, it's like, okay, we like the Californians. Now we hate the New Yorkers.
Yeah.
Now we're just
Nah.
goddamn New Yorkers.
Yep. I've always hated all that area.
Yankees moving down here by the droves. You sons of bitches.
It says this common sense rule developed with the restaurant and environmental justice groups requires professional review of whether installing emissions controls is feasible. So installing emission controls on wood fire pizza ovens.
Sounds like a ploy to put money in the pockets of companies that
come
make
on.
these emissions controls.
So what are you going to do? You're going to, require people like fireplaces and homes to have emission controls?
Yeah.
Probably.
It does really, well, I would call it like fascist singularity. It seems to be happening more and more between government regulating bodies
Yeah.
and big industry that's like, yeah, we've got this product we can make.
That's what they're going to start doing. They're going to start making you put the same thing that they made you put on your diesel trucks and put that pig urine in it. You got to mount it on top of your chimney, and every month you'll have to go out there and fill it up. So when the smoke comes out, they won't-
Blue Death.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah,
Blue
yeah.
Death for your
But no, it's
chimney.
not. So it wouldn't be called diesel exhaust fluid. Man, if you went back 30 years and be like, oh, where can I find some diesel exhaust
Oh, my
fluid?
God.
You know the looks you'd get?
Oh, geez.
Like, they'd probably go, yeah, where you find the windshield wiper fluid.
Okay, so does law enforcement actually check for that? Do they pull you over and they're like, yeah, we're going to check your tank?
I don't think specifically in this state they're not as
Okay.
hostile about it. I think it's more prominent with commercial drivers, big truck stuff like that. Now, if you get into more of the blue states, you bet your ass.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic. I mean, those people are pathetic. They are as pathetic as the ATF,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it doesn't get more pathetic than that.
So explain that. Okay, if you drive a diesel, okay, is it because the diesel you're able to get requires the Blue Death?
No.
Or does the law require the Blue Death in order to make your diesel okay for the environment?
The second one, the latter.
Yes.
The law requires it, so the manufacturers have to do it. You know what an emission system costs to put on a truck? That's an $8,500 upcharge.
Wow.
Then it requires service and maintenance. And then it also requires DEF to be purchased, which
Yeah.
70% of the DEF is probably bought out of plastic jugs.
Yep.
So where do those go?
I bet it's more than
Oh,
70.
right into the
it may be-
ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But, so our special guests have just arrived.
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're going to take a little break.
We'll ask them what they think about Blue Death.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
Gotta go over here and pause this. Be back with Matt and the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Not the Guardians of the Children. Now.
Now? Oh, I'm so
Awesome.
dead after chasing those cows.
Who let the cows out? Number 4?
I think we're
Yeah.
at 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All the
Yeah.
cows were out. Matt missed it.
Yep.
But here we are, joined
James.
by
Yeah.
Guardians of the Children and Matt Barrington from Locality. Guardians of the Children with Mama Bear and Bubba.
Yeah.
Yeah, great to have y'all here. We've got a big event coming up in the heat of the summer. I don't know whose idea that was.
Matt.
yeah, Matt.
Yeah, let's pick the
I'll take the
hottest month
blame.
of
Why
the
don't you
year.
pick July?
Yeah, I'll take the blame for that.
So why don't we talk about this event?
Yeah.
I'm,
Well, let's
really
hold
excited
on.
about this.
Let's talk about the event, but let's talk about them first and what
Guardians.
they do and
Yeah.
what they're about and who they are. So we'll let you guys have the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, Mama Bear's like,
A little nervous.
getting
Introduce
cold.
yourself, sir.
Yeah.
All right, my name is Bubba. I am the chaplain and the public relations officer for Big Sandy chapter of Guardians of the Children.
Nice. So we looked that up. How many chapters are there of that?
We
Of
have
those?
47 chapters throughout
Okay.
the U.S.,
Nice.
and then we have 6 in Canada.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, because we tried to post something on Facebook and we were trying to tag y'all in the post for the charity event, and it kept coming up with like every other chapter in America. We could not find the Big Sandy,
Sandy
one.
one.
You're on there.
Oh, yeah,
but
we're
we
there.
couldn't
Yeah,
get
on
the thing where it tags to work.
but we eventually did,
Yeah, I
right?
think we eventually got it.
I think we tagged. We
had
just did the national
Just
one.
hit
Oh,
everyone.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
one that encompasses all,
All
of
of
them.
Make them all jealous.
Yep.
Why not?
We tend
What
to.
are they doing in
We,
Texas?
we do that often, so it's okay. Yeah.
That's okay. So do you have to have a bike to be part of the club?
So you do not have to have a motorcycle to
Okay.
be a support member of Guardians of the Children. We prefer if you have a bike and you're able to ride with us and do.
He has a Vespa.
Hey,
But hey,
Yeah.
we don't care what you ride. If you ride, no, you can absolutely 100% be a part of this organization and fight our cause without having a bike. Obviously, having a motorcycle is just another one of our
It's cool.
tools that we use.
okay.
And the kids love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So what's your fight? Fight your fight.
Our mission is to, we are advocates for abused children. We empower them. We make sure that they know
That's
that
awesome.
they are not victims, they are survivors, and they had the courage to do what they needed to do, and they are so brave. And so we make sure that they know they're not alone through this fight. There's always going to be somebody there with them and stand up with them and make sure that their voices are heard.
Wow, that's heart wrenching.
There's something empowering about, for a child anyways, about a whole bunch of big, nasty, gnarly bikers, showing up and them being able to say, I'm not supposed to be afraid of them. They are here to protect me.
Right.
and just the look of relief on their faces,
Yeah.
when we show up, like for court or whatever, and do the guardian wall. A guardian wall is where we put the child in the middle when we're going into the courthouse.
Wow.
So the child goes in the middle of us, and we surround them in a circle so that way they're protected from all sides when we go in. And they stay that way most of the time while we're in the courthouse until they actually go into the courtroom. But just the look of relief on their faces, knowing that these people are here for me.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's awesome. So where did that generate? Tell us the history of Guardians.
So Guardians of the Children was started in 2006 down in San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
And from there, we've just branched out throughout the United States and then into Canada. There's been talk about Australia.
Wow.
I mean, there's around the world, child abuse should not happen in any shape or form. And
Agreed.
so as many chapters and as many people that we can get to stand up for our mission and to let these children know that they are not alone. And not just the children themselves, but the families. The entire family is affected from what has happened.
Yeah.
And so the more of us that can get out there, the more support we get, like what y'all are doing for us tonight and what Matt does for us all the time. It just,
So from 2006
yes,
in
sir.
San Antonio,
Yes, sir.
all the way into Canada now, not even 20 years later,
Yes,
it's
sir.
grown that much.
Yes, sir.
That's magnificent.
Yeah.
That's a huge testament.
Yes, sir.
I became a father in February.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a wonderful blessing, and I hope I don't get choked up. But we've done some charity work with Feeding Wise Kids. So on a local level,
Yes.
we've helped this organization put their image out there that puts food in the mouths of kids locally.
Yes.
So it's like your organization, you're the Big Sandy chapter. What's your territory?
Wise County.
So we don't claim a territory. Our chapter alone, we service Wise County, Parker County, Tarrant County, Montague County, Jack County, and Denton County is for the Big Sandy chapter.
Okay.
We have chapters close to us. We have one in McKinney. We have one up in Wichita Falls. We have one down in Sulphur River. But we will ride anywhere. If Wichita Falls calls and says that they're having an adoption or they're having an event for a child,
Right.
then we'll ride up there. We'll do the same with McKinney. We go to Sulphur River all the time. We've gone to Dallas. We've gone to El Paso. We've gone out to Arizona. Like
That's a big reach.
if
Yeah.
we will go wherever. If a child calls, we ride.
Who has to make the call? The child or some other like a parent?
The guardian
Okay.
has to. Yeah,
Okay.
because a lot of times it's not.
Sometimes
a parent
it's
that has
not
guardianship of that child. So if you have guardianship of that child, then you can reach out to us.
That's what I'm curious about. Is like sometimes child abuse, it's not that transparent. Like it doesn't.
It's not.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing, but it may be a couple years later that it's discovered. Oh, this child's been abused for
Yes,
X
sir.
amount of years or so long.
Yes, sir.
So that's what I'm curious about: is how does that happen? Who conveys that this child might be in trouble? We need you guys to step in. Who makes that bridge?
Do you mean like that reaches out to us as a chapter
Yes.
Yeah,
or
like that.
within the
Is
chapter?
it social worker?
Sometimes.
Okay.
We work with the Child Advocacy Center. We work with law enforcement, local law enforcement.
that's
Sometime the district attorneys will call us. And then they'll call and let us know. And then we always make sure that the guardian of that child gets, for me, like I'm the child liaison of our chapter. So we would make sure that they got my number and they would
Yeah.
reach out to me. And then we would start going through the process and making sure that everything falls under our bylaws the way that it needs to.
Okay.
Wow.
So it's a pretty quick transaction then. Like you get the call and you're already working on your way to help this child
Yeah,
out.
as soon as I get the call, I go into mama bear mode
Yeah.
and I immediately start working it and figuring out what's the next step to make sure that this child knows that they're safe and they're okay. And then we go from there and then we do an intake.
Yeah.
We go and meet the family and the child and let them know that, we're goofy and we're just there for them. And then we start the process. We do an adoption for them. We adopt them into our family.
Nice.
And when we do that, we have all the chapters that are close by that will come. Sometimes even our Abilene chapter will come up for us. And they see that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They
There's a lot
see
of support. Yes.
Yeah, that they see that all of these people came for them.
Yeah.
And we make sure they know where they came from, and we make a huge production over it, and just
You're bringing that kid joy that they've probably never experienced in their life.
or haven't in a long time.
and safety, and they
Yeah.
know, and then they and then they look around, and they see just a bunch of
Yeah.
No,
Bunch of bikers
we
gotta
welcome
take care of them.
emotions at this
Yeah.
table.
Yeah.
And before I started doing these fundraisers with the Guardians, I kind of asked around some law enforcement and like, hey, do y'all know this group? Are they good to go? And it's all positive feedback. And I also heard some stories of like kids not even like necessarily being abused in the home, but maybe some kids are being excessively bullied.
yes.
And I have read some stories where the Guardians would actually like take some of these kids to school, like
Yes.
show up.
Wow.
Just a
Yes.
presence.
Just
Yes.
like
We will
you know,
go
like
in.
20 Harleys and just a bunch of bikers showing
Yes.
up in the drop-off line.
Yes.
You
We
know,
will
you
take
got all these soccer moms and
love it.
minivans stuck
Yeah.
behind them.
We
They
absolutely
get some attention.
We will
but
take you to school. We will go and have lunch with you.
It's excellent. It's just a great example of how the community steps in to take care of the most needy. So it really is a real heart-wrenching story that you tell. And so that's just freaking awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, so if there's a group that's worth the effort and the time and just working with to raise money.
Heat
Yeah.
strokes,
So that-
washing cars in July.
Yeah.
exactly.
Heat strokes. Yeah. Your name after this is going to be Heath Strokes.
Heat stroke.
Oh, that was a past lifetime. We won't talk about
Yeah,
that.
no, we're not.
When you
But yeah,
go-
so the Guardians, it definitely I just love helping with them out because they have such a good, pure mission that I wish wasn't necessary, but it is,
It
and they're
is.
the right people for that job.
Absolutely.
it is a hard job to have, and I say this, and I hope it comes across correctly. It is a hard job to have, and it is a horrible thing that we are even needed.
Yeah.
But it is such a rewarding job at the same time.
I can't even imagine.
Because when you get through the whole process with this child, and we keep our little Guardians until they're 18, or they say, thank you, you've done exactly what you needed to do for me, and I no longer need you, which is heart-wrenching for us because we grow very attached to all of our little Guardians.
Absolutely.
But on the same hand, you're like, I did.
Yeah.
Like, we did this. We did this.
It's an accomplishment. Yeah.
And it makes you so proud. And we still talk to our little Guardians that have graduated out or have said, no, thank you. I don't need you anymore, but I appreciate everything you did in my life.
Yeah.
I still get pictures to this day from 7 years ago from a little Guardian who's now married and has a successful career.
Wow.
And she just had a baby. And
Oh, wow, that's cool.
it's so amazing that you can form that bond. And so it is very rewarding in the end to know that you can make such a positive impact on a child who had the most horrific thing done to them.
Yeah.
And there is a special place in hell for people who do.
I agree.
Yeah.
I really hope so.
Yes.
I really hope so. My wife is a licensed clinical social worker. She worked at UBH in Denton for a while. She's seen the worst of the worst, truly. And we've, kids have been brought up. We've talked about adopting our second kid. It depends on how things work out, but
Sure.
she's. I would love to introduce her to you. I'd love for her to meet y'all.
Absolutely.
But she has this thing about nature versus nurture, and how these kids roll into adulthood,
Yes.
and because they haven't been nurtured,
Yes.
they could be the next serial killer.
Yes.
Or they could be a totally terrible adult because of the way they were nurtured coming up. So
Yes.
you, in this transitionary period, take them and nurture them into an aspiring, healthy young adult. And
We
that's
try
a
our
huge
very hardest.
marvel.
Try
Yeah.
our very hardest.
Right on. So how did you get introduced with him?
Okay, so many of you
Something
know,
tells me it doesn't start with a salad.
No.
We're having a salad.
food is involved, actually, believe it or not. There was food. I did a couple of small little fundraisers at Locality. It's something that I believe in. Yes, I run a bar. It's a cocktail bar, but it's also a platform that many bars don't use their voice or their platform as often as they could to give back to the community. And that's one thing about being a small town in Bridgeport that I'm learning this very much is the sense of community and pride.
Definitely.
So if you're a business, you want to make sure that you become part of the community. And part of that is giving back. And not everything's just a cash grab. You know,
Right.
just do stuff to help out the community itself.
Absolutely.
So I did a few little small fundraisers, and I really enjoy the feeling. I have a sense of accomplishment, like, hey, you know what? I helped something happen.
Yeah.
But I took my son, Christian. I think that's when you first met him. So I took Christian to the Decatur Food Truck
Yes.
Challenge a couple of years ago.
Yes, sir.
It was like 2 or 3 years ago. 3 years
3
ago.
years, Matt.
Good God. Wow, it's fast. Okay, so the Food Truck Challenge, we went, just me and my boy, and we were trying everything. And then there were a lot of vendors with their tents and set up, and they're selling things. And so Christian saw they have some little stuffed animals. So, of course, he wants one.
He got a
As
bear.
every
He got a
little
bracelet.
loyal-
He
yeah.
got a pin. I
got
think we
everything.
gave him just everything
Right.
that day. We were like, I
Yeah.
was like, I love you. Just take it all. Just whatever you want.
There you go. You're such a sweet kid. So I talked to Mama Bear, and it was like, oh, by the way, I've got a bar that I do fundraisers every now and then for. Would you be interested talking about something? Then it's like, yeah, we're down for whatever. Like, okay, we can be friends.
Only if you knew what whatever meant.
Only if he knew what I meant by whatever.
Are you sure? God. And then we did something. I think it was Pop's Whiskey was
It
the
was.
first time. Yeah.
It
So
was.
one of the things that another voice that I do have is a lot of connections with suppliers in the spirit world, and I know the ones that are able and willing to actually participate in doing some events. So I talked to some of my friends, and one was Pop's Whiskey, which you can find at Ader Liquor in Decatur off
Pop's
of
Whiskey.
FM51.
Okay. Yep.
It's Will's
Check it
birthday, by
out.
the way.
Go
It is
see
Will.
Lindsay.
Oh, happy birthday, Will Carpenter.
Yes, Will. Okay. So Pop's Whiskey, they actually came out. Pops himself, really old man,
Yeah.
super sweet guy.
Super cool guy.
Love-
It's not just some pseudonym on a bottle. There's a
No.
real Pops.
Cannot
Okay.
love this man enough.
They came out
Love
the
him.
first year, and they were so thrilled just to be asked to do something this
Yeah.
fun. Like they've never done any kind of like fundraiser part. So we brought him out. Pops came out, and they brought some shirts and swag,
Yeah.
shot glasses and stuff. And we just had a grand old time. I don't even know how much money we brought in, but it was some really good exposure and
Yeah.
just getting out in Bridgeport and seeing people come in and meeting you guys. So we did that 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the
And then
last
Matt
year,
had his crazy idea.
oh my God. Yeah. Do we want to go through this whole
Yes,
list?
we do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lord mercy.
Absolutely.
Okay, so 2 years in a row of Pops fundraisers with the Guardians, and this past year there was a bottle of rum involved. I'll admit that.
Like I said, something didn't start with, hey, let's have a salad.
Yeah, anything that starts with rum.
So yeah,
Where's my
Usually-
soundboard with
Rum was the-
Jack Sparrow on it?
rum was the impetus of this one. So my ideas come basically like this. Here's a reenactment. Slip, sip, sip, sip. Hey, you know what'd be neat?
What
if we
would be
do this? Hey, what if we did a crawfish boil here? Okay. What do we need to do? I don't know. We'll find somebody. I got a parking lot. We can cook in the parking lot. Okay. All right, yeah. We'll find somebody to cook. And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm gonna make this fundraiser too. We'll call the Guardians. Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, this thing evolved into
And of course, we're like, we're down.
yeah. They're like,
What are
yeah,
we
we're down.
doing?
What do we got to do? I don't care. So this went from becoming like yeah, it might be 100 people, whatever. The crawfish boil, raise money.
250 people.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
That's great.
Yeah. Then we have the Children's Advocacy Center, and they were super helpful. We
Oh,
couldn't have done
man.
it without them.
We couldn't have done it. No.
They were great. I made real good friends with them. They're awesome. And so the deal was we're all working together. And at the end of the day, whatever funds were left over is they split 50-50, Guardians and the CAC. But everybody had such a great time. So it went from being like, yeah, what do we need? 100 pounds, blah, 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 blah. No, we cooked 800 pounds of crawfish.
Wow.
And ran out.
Yeah.
Had to go
We
back
had-
for more kegs. We had
So many
Unreal.
people were volunteering to spend money to put this together.
it was amazing.
I'm not gonna lie. I never anticipated this, but the first 1 week that we decided, okay, this is what we're gonna do. I need to get some money. I started asking people. 1 week, I got like $8,000 in checks.
Man, that's great.
Just from asking a few questions.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, we're doing a thing. You want to donate?
Yeah.
I'm like, sure. How much you need?
How much do you need?
okey-dokey.
Yeah.
All right. I can't even go down the list. If I start, then I'll miss somebody, and I don't even
mean-
want to do that.
It's so cool that you give the community the opportunity to give to kids in need. I mean, you're like,
That's it.
yeah, don't go get on this submarine and try to go to the Titanic. It's like, yeah, it's like, no,
a no-win
put your money
situation.
here. Put your money with the kids, right?
Locally. Start as.
It's like,
Wait, is there some inside story? Did you
There was
two?
one time in a submarine. You wouldn't believe it.
no, it's like no brainer. So it's so cool that just materialized from nowhere. You know, it just kind of came from
the night
air.
wasn't even over yet, and people were already asking, "Are we doing it again next year?"
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Like
That's a great sign.
it wasn't even over, and they're like, "What can we do? Like we have to do it again next year."
And who was it?
mean-
Is Twisted X?
Twisted X
I'm gonna
wants
say
to
it's out there. He was like, I want to be the
Your
first
main-
donor.
yeah.
Like, I want to be like the stage sponsor. So we'll hold you to it. It's
Okay.
It's public information now. So next year,
It's out
Yeah.
You heard it first here.
yes, next year's
Twisted X.
crawfish boil brought to you by Twisted X.
Can you say who Mr. Twisted X is?
Mr. Twisted X.
Really put the pressure on him.
I know, right?
Really?
I'll leave that
Say
call up to you.
I don't remember.
Yeah. I think it's Jeff
Jeff Jones. Yeah.
perhaps.
That sounds generic.
He's a wonderful
That could be any
Yeah.
Jeff Jones out
Yes.
there.
No, he's a real good guy, and he's
Disclaimer
I
on
don't
the
know if
Whiskey
I want him
Bros
to hear this or
podcast.
not,
Any names
right?
mentioned are coincidence and nothing else.
we're just making up people at this time.
Great, but they're a
But
great
no.
couple too. Him and his wife, Mrs. Jones.
Jones.
Yeah.
Protecting
Man,
her identity.
also serve the needy, and
I know that's why it works so well together.
yeah, that's so cool. And if anything, I think for me, just and I'm new to kind of the exposure to you guys, but
We all are. And
Yeah.
I was going to make a point, like, I hate to validate its existence, but if there is benefit to social media, this is one of those benefits, is having a platform to get stuff like this out, you guys,
there,
and
yep.
what your services are and the things you go for. That's, if people aren't listening to this podcast, they can find your information on social media.
We are all over social media.
We're across. We have Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, like wherever we can get the word out on our mission is exactly what we want to do.
Fantastic.
Like,
Well,
The
The
videos
more-
on TikTok are worth going and looking at. I promise you.
Yeah.
it's got to be so empowering for these kids
well, I guess I can't log into Facebook.
to have
I've been
y'all
You guys
champion
Yep.
to show up, to have y'all show up.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It is definitely different for a lot of them. Some have great support systems, and it's
Yeah.
amazing to see that. And then others just don't.
They have you guys.
They have a few people in their corner, and then that's when we come in and we're like, nah. No,
Yeah.
you're not alone anymore.
Right.
Check how big your family is now. Like we've got
That's
you.
awesome.
200%. Like, we've got you.
So can we, since you're both here, can we take it to a personal level and get your story on what brought you to wanting to be a part of this?
Absolutely.
Yep.
I mean, we don't have
that's a tall order.
Absolutely.
How much time you got?
Plenty.
All the time.
All
Plenty.
night
You
long.
want me to go first?
You can go first. And
Okay.
I'll follow up.
I was part of the MC culture
Okay.
for a lot of years, and decided when I gave that up that I was done. I was just going to ride and enjoy riding. A friend of ours, a brother of ours, was probating with Guardians of the Children, and
What does that mean, probating?
probating means that they're hanging around, they're showing interest, they're trying to get involved in and see if they're. We don't just take anybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to fit with us.
Yeah.
Your heart has to be about our mission.
Absolutely.
Right
It's-
on.
If you are not 100% about our mission and the patch that you're putting on your back, then you can just go ahead and go down the road.
And we have sent them down
I love
the road.
that. Good.
So there is probation period.
There is a
A
probation
year
period.
probation.
Heavy
Okay,
vetting
nice.
period. yeah.
1 year.
And it's worth noting, I learned last time I was at a meeting that every single member and anyone who actually comes in contact with one of those kids has already gone through an extensive background check.
Yeah,
With
you can't. Yeah, you can't be. So if you were to come to me and say, "Hey, I'm really interested in what y'all do. How do I go about it?" The first thing I tell you is I'm going to give you a state registry and I'm going to give you a federal registry, and I'm going to have you. We're going to check your background, and we send them off.
Yeah.
And then if it comes back and says that you're cleared, now a lot of us have things that we've done in our past that
That were mistakes.
there were mistakes, huge
Yeah.
mistakes, but it's not going to be any kind of family violence or sexual misconduct or anything like
So
that.
there are hard no's.
There is absolutely hard
Yeah.
no's, and I have no qualms telling you to kick rocks barefooted.
Nice.
Hey, I like it.
Like none. I
like
mean,
it.
I
I
have
think
the
this is a
name
charity
for
that
it.
you should
kinda
be
have to.
unapologetic about. Absolutely.
I'm not apologetic for it at all. But if you pass both of your backgrounds and they come back clear, then that's when you start your probationary period. So you have to prove to me, to the chapter,
Mama Bear.
but you have
Yeah.
to prove that you're about this and you are about these children that we're helping. And it's, we say this a lot. If you're just trying to pad your resume with God,
Yeah.
you're in the wrong place.
Wow.
Because that's not what this is about.
You have to be the boot on the ground.
You have to.
Yeah.
You are going to go in the trenches with these children.
Yeah.
And when they call you at 3:00 in the morning because they're scared,
You're answering. You better answer. Yeah.
you're answering.
Well, not only
and
do we
you're
answer,
riding.
we're riding.
Yeah.
We're going to you at that very moment.
man.
If you call me and tell me, or whoever that primary over that child is, if you call them and say, "I'm scared, can you come over?" If I'm not your next phone call telling me that a child just called you,
Wow. Yeah.
I feel like you have earned the moniker Mama Bear.
Oh, yeah.
For a valid reason. Yeah. I
figured
like
that
it.
out real
I like
quick.
it. Yes.
yes, sir.
I was going to say on this card, the other guy is named Tank, and he's not scary at all to me.
We're more scared of Mama Bear than we are of
That's
Tank.
what I was saying. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, Tank.
Man, it's so cool.
I'm sorry, Bubba.
No,
go ahead.
you're good. So I start, like I said, our friend and brother was riding with them and was in a probationary period. And so he was telling me about it, and I was seeing him hand out these flyers. And we got trifolds that we hand out all the time. And so he was handing these things out. And so I was like, well, give me one of those. So I took it and I read through it, and I thought, well, this is pretty cool. And then there was an event at one of the schools, and Guardians had a booth set up there, and so I thought, well, I'll go up there and just see them, see what they're about, kind of feel them out, and met Mama Bear, met Tank, met Big Cat, who was our president at the time when the chapter started, and I'm an ordained minister, and so Big Cat and I made fast friends. Tank and I made fast friends. Mama Bear and I was like we had always been friends. I don't know. It just kind of fit that way. But Big Cat approached me and he said, look, he said, because I told him, I said, look, I have no interest in putting a patch on my back. I love what y'all do. I'll support you in any way, but this is just, this is my background. This is why I don't want to. And he said, well, that's fine. He said, but would you consider just being the chaplain? You can be a chaplain, you can get all the background checks and just be the chaplain for us without
support the organization.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
because we had a chaplain at the time, probably going to get emotional over this, but we had a chaplain at the time who was the chaplain for several chapters. She was an amazing, amazing woman. She mentored Mama Bear, and she was having a whole lot of health issues.
Yeah.
And so Big Cat said, I really need somebody that can kind of pick up where she can't. And so I said, yeah, absolutely, I'll do this. And so Big Sandy was having their patch-in party over at Big Cat's. Patch-in party is where our chapter came from the Weatherford chapter, which was the Steel Horses chapter. And so when the what are you laughing at now?
She's holding back.
I know.
She's having a tough time.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of the chapter that was at the Weatherford chapter was living here, so they thought it was only proper to do something here instead of covering that other county. And so they started this one up, and a patch-in party is where we had people from San Antonio, from Abilene, from Canada. We had people everywhere that actually flew down to support the handing over of the patches to start this chapter. And so I attended that and fell in love with everybody. I saw the familyhood, of all these people that, may not have known each other, but they were all fighting the same mission, and so it was an instant family.
Yeah.
And something just told me, I got to do this. I can't half-ass this. I have to do this, know.
Yeah.
So I went and grabbed Big Cat, and I said, I'm in. You tell me what I need to do, So I filled out the paperwork the day of the patch-in party, and did it. I was eager when I started. If Mama Bear and Tank said there's something that needed to be done, I was there.
Yeah.
Big Cat called me one evening and said there's 2 huge adoptions in El Paso. This was on a Wednesday. He said, it's Saturday morning, this coming Saturday morning. Can you go? And I was like, I will make arrangements, And so I told my wife, and I said, this is going. Big Cat called me, and she said, let's go. And so when I got off work, my bike was packed. My riding clothes were ready to go. I changed clothes, got on the bike, and we hauled ass to El Paso. And literally, it was a whirlwind trip. We rode out there that Friday night, got to El Paso at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. The chapter there put us up, so we didn't have to get hotels.
Yeah.
So they put us up in the houses. We did there was 2 adoptions, and they were high-profile adoptions that were out there. While we had just got on our bikes and was headed back home when one of the perpetrators actually showed up at one of the kids' houses that we had just adopted into the organization. And GOC beat the cops there.
Wow.
And so the gentleman was sitting in the bushes calling the cops on himself.
He's glad to see the cops.
Literally saying, y'all come get me because I'm scared to death of these people.
Nice.
That's
And so,
awesome.
that kind of, we have a lot of those kind of stories. But then we rode back home, and I was able to, I patched in right after that, and have been I was road captain. My son was abused multiple times. Didn't find out until later in life.
Yeah.
And it has caused lots of issues with him because it wasn't dealt with at the time.
Yeah. He didn't get the opportunity to work through it early on.
No, it was way too late until we found out. We are just now getting into the serious healing portion of that, and he's 16.
Yeah.
Mama Bear and Tank have been great supporters of me and my child through all of this. They have come over in the middle of the night and talked to him and disciplined when he wasn't listening to Dad. I mean, there's you get to a point where
there's some level of adult.
You need an outside source.
Yeah.
Yes.
A mentorship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did he bring this to you directly, or did you have to find out through happenstance or hearsay?
It was several years afterwards. He was still fairly young. He asked me if I'd come lay on the floor with him while he was going to sleep. He was having a whole lot of problems going to sleep.
Yeah.
And so I was laying in the floor with him, and he said, Dad, can we talk? And he just kind of opened up,
Wow.
Mama Bear was my very first phone call.
Yeah.
And explained to her what was going on. And so the mission, even if I hadn't have gone through it, the mission, there's so many kids that we have met that there's so many adults that we have met.
Right.
That will come up to us and say, I wish you were there when I was a child.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We didn't have anybody like you when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm the biggest tit bag, just like Mama Bear is. We have sunglasses on when we do our adoptions for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we get cleaned up before because we go introduce ourselves to the children. Even if it's not our adoption, we are going to support somebody else. We go individually and introduce ourselves to the kids. And there's been a whole lot of times we've had to stand back and make sure that our eyes were not red,
I can't imagine.
to go up.
I
And
really
introduce.
can't imagine.
It is. I have done a lot of cool things in my life, but nothing as cool as this.
Yeah.
I love what we do. I love our kids. I had Mama Bear was talking about if a kid calls, we were having a get together one at a family dinner. Is what we used to call them, and we would get together and just have a potluck, as a chapter. And it was about 11 o'clock at night, and I'm on my way home from that, and my kid called and said, I can't sleep. I'm having nightmares. I can't sleep.
Uh-huh.
Can you come? Well, it wasn't like he was in Decatur. He was in Mineral Wells.
Yeah.
And so I instantly got on the phone to Tank, and I said, brother, I just got a call. We need to roll. And he said, I'm getting dressed now. Come get me.
We never go
Alone.
So anytime a little guardian, we are around any little guardian, there is always at least 2 patch members or more. You never, ever are alone with a child
It's a good policy.
under any circumstance. There's not, it's just right here. No, there's not just right here. There is no reason at all to be alone with a child.
But that's cool. It's got to be so empowering to have your organization just a phone call away for these kiddos.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they need.
Anytime.
And then
most
to know
is-
that it's real for them. It's not a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah,
Like, these people,
like this is
they're
serious.
showing up.
It
They're
is
showing up.
absolutely not bullshit. And
Yeah.
I think that a lot of our kids have try to call us on it. Like,
Yeah.
to
To test it?
I think they've called just to be like, yeah, they say they'll be there. Let's see. And then when you
then
roll
boom.
up with, 3 bikes and 3 cars and, we're all sleepy eyed and hair all in a mess. And we're
Yeah.
like, hey, you called. And the look on their face is like, oh, no, they really did it.
Yeah.
And you don't
man.
have the bureaucracy to tingle with either. You're not
sir.
CPS or some government that's got to sign papers, get
No,
orders
sir.
from judges. None of that bullshit.
No, sir.
It's like, no, phone call, connection, we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Immediately.
That's a blessing. Yeah.
Well, in that night that we rode to Mineral Wells, Tank and I simply sat on the couch. This kid drew us pictures until he was ready to fall asleep. And he climbed up on the couch between me and Tank and laid back and went to sleep. And so as soon as Mom took him to bed, we were like, all right, we love y'all, we're out, And I got home at 5 o'clock in the morning and had to be at work at 6. And so I just went on to work. That's just what we do.
I love this. And what I'm not hearing is that you're there trying to change the child's life.
Absolutely.
You're there just to be present.
Absolutely.
The only thing that we're trying to change in their life is to make sure that they know, first and foremost, they're not alone,
Yeah.
and that to empower them.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we're trying to change, to get the victim mentality out of their heads and that you are a survivor. I always tell all of our little guardians every time I meet them, this is just a chapter in your book. This isn't your whole story. This isn't it. Your book doesn't stop here. This is just a chapter, maybe a few chapters at the most.
Sure.
But your book is going to be long, and this is just part of it.
I can't imagine being in that mindset. You know, as a human condition, we already, even if we're in a healthy lifestyle or situation, any kind of crisis that we come up against automatically, because of how we're made, we treat it as it's a life-threatening crisis, no matter what.
Right.
So I can imagine being in the shoes of an abused kid that is in that crisis mode every fucking day of the week.
And that's exactly.
And having the vessel to be around to say, no, like you just said, this is a minute paragraph in a large chapter in a large fucking book that is the rest of your life.
Right.
And we're here to get you through that.
Right. And it is a huge thing that has happened to him. And in no way, shape, or form do I or any other member try to downplay that. But we also, I guess we do. Like, there's so much more in life.
Yeah.
This is it's just a bomb.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to go over it together. We're going to ride it out, and we'll get through it.
Somebody there to promise that horizon.
Is right there.
Yeah,
it is
that's-
there. And I will promise them that.
Yeah.
And I will, with my last breath, I will get them to that horizon.
I know you will. I can feel your conviction,
I
both
will.
of y'all, absolutely.
So I know you guys said that y'all where your chapter surroundings are, but did you say how many members, actual patch members, how many do y'all?
So for our chapter, for Big Sandy, I can't tell you throughout. What
Right. No,
GOC
I
has.
just meant the local one here.
For Big Sandy, we have. This is bad. I should know this. Vice
Well,
President.
we've had several new ones too. So
We have between support, probate, and patch. I want to tell you that we have 38.
Wow.
Okay.
That's all together. Excuse me. So our chapter is fairly small.
Right.
Big Sandy chooses to keep our chapter small. We are a very tight-knit family. And you honestly have to be about our mission.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we've had several that have come in. It's great that your support, but they're just not completely about it.
Right.
And if you're not willing to give up a holiday or leave your comfort zone because it's Mother's Day or Father's Day, or if it's Christmas, or just because it's that holiday doesn't mean this child gets that day off,
Right.
and it doesn't affect them. So if they call on those days and you're not willing to because it's too hot or it's too cold or it's Christmas or
There we go. That's why we're doing a car wash in the middle of July.
Yes,
Damn it. It is not too hot.
So you asked how we got into this, and for me, I didn't want to do this
Yeah.
because of my mindset. Because
Oh, I can tell it tugs on you. You give a little bit of yourself every time, I imagine.
Yeah.
But the rewards,
in more ways than not,
yeah.
but I went ahead and filled out my paperwork. My husband was dead set. He had just gotten out of the military, and he needed that brotherhood. He needed that camaraderie, again. And so we went, and the first meeting that we went to, they were talking about this family, a family of 4, 2 boys and 2 girls. And we had already filled out our paperwork and everything, so we were able to be in on this conversation. And they were saying some of the stuff that had happened. And I physically felt ill. I physically thought I was going to get ill in the middle of the meeting. And we took a break from the meeting and we went outside and I was like, I can't do this. Like, I'll be support, like 100%, but I can't do this because in my head, I'm thinking things that I should like, bad things need to happen to this
Yeah.
person. Like,
Yeah.
bad things.
Yeah.
That's the other side
Yeah.
of the coin, though.
It's bad.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can't do it. And then we went to this adoption for these 4 beautiful children. And I'm just boo-hooing because
It's real now.
it's
Yeah,
completely, it's
real
like
front
in
of
my
you.
face. There's these beautiful children standing there, these 2 little boys and these 2 little girls, and their smiles are from ear to ear. And in my head, I'm thinking, sweet God, I know what has happened. How can they be like so excited and so happy? And so you see this, and then after the adoption, you know, we all go up to them and we tell, you know, we say hello, we introduce ourselves to them and everything. And the one little girl, they all hugged me. And the one little girl, she says, but why are you crying? Today is such a good day. And I was
Done.
like,
Over, done.
yeah. And in my head, I'm like, what? And she hugged me and she's like, it's okay. I'll cry with you. And I was like,
Oh, man.
bet. And from that day on, and this was almost 10 years ago, I've been doing this for almost 10 years. And from that day on, I was like, I'll do it. I will go to the depths of hell and back 1,000,000 times if I get to see that every time I do this. And to this day, I still talk to that family, and I
that's
still
great.
talk to those children.
That's amazing.
That is a literal cornerstone in your life. Yeah.
It is.
And people need to know this.
Yeah.
That's why I want to do so much for you guys. Like, people need to know this
Damn,
is
it's
going
heart
on
writing.
Yeah.
in your backyard in
It
Wise
doesn't-
County.
And-
I think, Bubba, that's why I asked the question is if your son brought that news to you, that unfortunate news to you directly, or if you found out through hearsay. It's like, because in my mind, I'm wondering how many kids are in the situation that we don't know about.
More than
'cause
we-
they don't. And
more.
that is terrifying.
There's more than you would want to
Man.
imagine.
I tell you what, like, they call me bougie bro too, because I just like I like things. Okay,
You like nice things.
He's
Like-
the princess of
Yeah.
the bunch.
But are you bougie pinky up bougie?
Oh yeah.
well, hold on now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, my
I'm sure we have pictures.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. Yes.
but after having a kid, and I have 5 months of, you know, when she first started smiling, I mean, my biggest priority in life is mine and my wife's happiness, because that inevitably lends to my daughter's happiness. But
Absolutely.
getting to witness her smile and the joy that she has, it's like I can't think of anything else that brings me much pleasure than watching the joy on her face and giving her reasons to smile, and then take that exponentially to other kids, finding a way, like you just said, start with your local charities and find a way to help, and then, you know, that process just bleeds out, and there's no telling how many millions, you know, in 2 years, from San Antonio to freaking Canada,
Yeah.
in under 20 years.
Yeah. It's pretty
Your
cool,
mentality
isn't it?
and your motto
Spreads.
and your mission has affected so many people.
Yeah.
So yeah, seeing from your own child's point of view to thinking about helping other kids that aren't in that kind of situation to bring them joy.
I will tell you that we have 2 boys and an amazing daughter-in-law, and we have beautiful grandchildren, and all of my daughter-in-law, both my boys have done their background checks, and they are a part of this.
Yeah.
And our grandkids are a part of this.
It's a little infectious.
And
I gotta admit.
it's amazing to see my 7-year-old grandson go to one of these events with us and know and understand as much as his 7-year-old little brain can comprehend.
Yeah.
But know that he's there and playing with these other children and going to, and doing events with us, bake sales and stuff. And he's out there. And let me tell you, when a 7-year-old little boy walks up to you and like, you need to buy this, you're going to buy whatever it is that 7-year-old is
Hold on a second,
handing
little
you.
guy. I got to go to the
Take all my
ATM.
money.
Don't move.
Right. Like it's amazing. It's amazing because it is infectious, and it is, it's amazing to be able to do it.
So your foray into the organization started with, no, I can't do this.
I was absolutely against it.
Yeah.
I wasn't against what it stood for.
Sure. No, we know
But
that, yeah.
yes, for me personally, because like I
It's a
said,
big emotional battle.
Yeah. And I'm an emotional person in every emotion anyways. I'm very passionate just with life in general. We all have reasons why. We all have some sort of a past or whatever it may be. So, but when you have a child that you know what's happened and they're like, it's a great day. I'll cry with you. You know what? Bet. Like, we're doing this. And I'll tell you, that wasn't the only day we cried together, and I'm sure it will not be the last that we ever cry together.
Yeah.
So it's super amazing. And I did an intake the other day, and intakes are great. They're fun. You get to learn and stuff. And the little girl afterwards, she goes around and she hugs everybody that's at the intake, and she hugs me last, and she calls me down to her. Because if they're littler than us, we always make sure that we take off our sunglasses and we look them in the eye, and we're eye to eye with them.
Get down on their level.
If we have to get on our knees to make sure that we're eye level, however it is. And she calls me down, and so I lean down to her, and she whispers in my ear, and she says, "You're my favorite." And I'm like, that's why I do what I do. This right here,
great.
that's why I do what I
100%
do.
validated just from those 3 words. Wow.
Well, you know what? It's an amazing thing too when we go to court with these kids.
Yeah.
A lot of time, sometimes we get to go in like this. Sometimes we can't go in like this because it's intimidating for the other people. You know. Hello, that's what
You
we're
mean
supposed
dress
to be.
like bikers?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that it?
Kind of the cause,
You're
right?
right. And so, but it's when we go in with the kids, and the kids get up to do their victim impact statement, and they look at us and know that we're all sitting on the back row, and that's my family, and come hell or high water, those people are going to die to protect me. And they sit there and they read their victim impact statement with all of this power and
Like-
strength, you know, that they didn't have
It
before.
comes from the bottom of their gut. Like, you can hear it in every bit of their soul.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And we're all sitting back there, death staring the perpetrator, you know, that they're telling their victim impact statement to, you know, and we're trying not to. We're not supposed to, but it happens, you know. We're all picturing what all kinds of nasty things we can do to the person, you know.
That's what my question was going to be, because he said his name is Bougie Bro. It's really Fire Bro, but we also call him Bougie Bro. Mine is Savage Bro, because if there's somebody that's going to get tired of the government charging us too much on taxes and blow something up, it's probably going to be me.
Come on.
Again, disclaimer: things said on the Whiskey Bros are all coincidental, no planning.
So that was my
Allegedly.
question.
We'll
was,
talk later because I want to be part of that deal too. So,
How hard is it not to go down to my closet and pull out the ghillie suit and find those perpetrators? And how hard is it not to jump across the... God.
Yeah,
It is.
and-
Gotta be.
In early December, Wise County had that horrific eye-opening event with Athena Strand.
yeah.
And
We were
I'm
part of
like,
that, so.
I really wanted people to, however, it would have been possible to make because, you know, they posted a bail amount for the dude. Like, surely we can raise this amount of bail. And then, like, you know, every farmer, cowboy, biker, dad,
There's a
all
lot of
waiting
land
for
out
him.
here.
Yeah, just waiting for him as they step him out of the front of the jail.
So do you have a secret ghillie suit chapter that I can... I don't have a bike, but I have a ghillie suit.
It is very, very hard.
Yeah.
And court is definitely one of our main priorities. We want to make sure that the perpetrator gets what the law will allow to happen to him. We want to make sure that that child gets to close that chapter of their life. But when we're in there, and because of the passion that we have, and having to hear the details, because we don't know a lot of the stuff prior to court. So when we go in there and we have to hear the details, it is one of the hardest things. You can't cry, you can't show anger, you can't show anything. You have to stand strong. And it is by far one of the hardest things. And I promise you that when we all get home, we...
Do y'all have a good therapist on staff? Because you're internalizing and compartmentalizing a lot of
his name is
horrific
Bubba.
Bubba hears it all.
Bubba hears a lot. And we will be as strong as that kid needs during that time. And more times than not, when we put that child in their car to leave the courtroom for the day and they're out of sight, we break.
I was going to say, I bet y'all go back and just hug and cry.
We sit there at our bikes and we sit there and just bawl our eyes out.
You got to have some
to.
way to decompress
We
from
do.
all that, because that's trauma for y'all too.
Sure.
Yeah.
You need a corporate sponsor from Kleenex.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
Right,
it.
but for all the right reasons.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's something about hurting for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I could take the hurt from all of these all of these children every time that we came in contact one, I would.
Every time.
Yeah.
Worth it. Yep.
Every
would
time.
Worthy sacrifice.
completely.
Okay, so we've gotten the background, we've gotten the stories. Let's
So-
talk about action.
Yes.
Let's
so
talk about the charity
Here's a
event
question,
coming up.
and
I
it's
am
something
so
that I think
excited.
about too. Is like, how can anybody help?
Yeah, even if it's
how
not
can we help?
like a a big sponsored event.
This is not on my water.
Hey, no.
Hey, do we
it
need
happens.
to? Okay, before we go,
we actually love it
Okay.
because
Drink
we do a thing to where when we open a bottle, we usually go.
It's perfect. Hey, it's my water bottle. It makes noise. I can't help it.
I did see a
so-
patch that says sober. How many years have you been sober?
29 and a half years.
Fantastic. Congratulations, man.
Yeah.
I hope
job.
Matt warned you that you're coming to
Where
a
you-
place
No.
where you're okay.
No, it is. Trust
It was
me.
made known.
Yeah.
Trust me, I have been around these fools long enough.
yeah, in 29 years, it's part of your soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me.
That's
anymore.
fantastic,
That's,
man. Proud of you and congratulations.
So in that spirit, okay, the other day I was talking to my 10-year-old daughter, and she was like, yeah, in that spirit. She was
See
like,
what you did there.
I want to try some whiskey. Okay, and
Yeah.
so I thought, no. But then I was
as
at,
a whiskey bro kid will do.
yeah, exactly. But then I was at Total Wine the other night, and I was shopping for some stuff that I hadn't seen and whatnot, and I happened across this like non-alcoholic section. And so,
Where is that section at?
yeah, it's in the back left corner.
Is that the restroom?
You gotta walk to the restroom.
No, it's right in front of the restroom. It really is.
It's there. It's a thing now. I'll
Yeah. Well, good
tell
for
you.
Total Wine, man.
Yeah. So it's, and I've had some athletic brew.
Yeah.
And I can talk about this because like some of their non-alcoholic beer, we keep it at the office.
Yeah.
And it's actually really
Look
good.
at this guy wearing his freaking tank top in here
That's
with
what
his
I was
guns
going to say.
out.
We need to talk about your sports bra you're wearing.
It'll come in handy later.
Yeah.
I don't know what that shirt is.
I thought you would like that, Savage Bro.
Is the
There you go. There you go, Matt.
So
That's what I
Ader
thought you would
Liquor
like that.
needs to catch up from what I'm hearing and have a non-alcoholic section.
Okay, so
mean, do
so I
they?
thought, well, hell, I'm gonna pick this up. I'll pick one out. We're gonna try it. I'm gonna let my daughter try it. And
So I'm going from Pikesville, which is top 5 rye, to
so we're gonna really see how this is. I haven't tried
Okay,
this.
We're gonna share.
She tasted it. She hated it. And,
Well,
and
she's 12.
I don't think I've ever
No,
heard
she's
of a
10.
kid say,
Oh, 10.
"Oh wow, whiskey's
10.
amazing."
Yeah, she hated it.
I probably would have. But
She
that's-
tried
Yeah,
it.
that's exactly.
She tried it straight.
Blakely does.
I remember like 10 years old, still in my old man's Miller Lite,
Yeah.
thinking, "Oh, I got a beer," and cracking it like, "What is this? This is
So,
terrible."
I was like, okay, noted. I'm going to take it to the podcast. We're going to see. We're going to do a live
okay,
taste test.
Oh, okay.
so we're up against Amelia.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
She said it was disgusting.
Okay. Olivia didn't taste it.
She wouldn't.
Okay. Smart.
Good kid.
She's actually anti-alcohol.
Okay. Well,
Bit
even
of
better.
a teetotaler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right on.
I mean, she's
The world
only
needs
it's good for
teetotalers too.
kids.
she's only 13.
Yeah.
She'll grow out of that.
I will tell you from a professional standpoint
But, yeah.
that the non-alcoholic spirits sector is taking off.
It is
There
a
are some
big movement.
really great products available.
I don't know about that nose
my-
though.
I didn't think it was
Oh,
that
you
bad.
just went straight in.
Oh, did you want some?
God,
I
Here you
nosed
go.
it.
Mama
You
bear.
want some, Oliver?
We could try some.
Cheryl.
Okay, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. I want honest assessment.
You want my honest assessment?
Yeah, this is
I don't really
okay.
know
What's
how
this
to lie.
bottle? Like Kentucky 74.
Oh,
That's what
nice.
this says.
Spiritless is the
You want my,
Spiritless.
label on this.
You want my
But here-
honest assessment?
Here, let.
I'm
okay.
gonna go
Non-alcoholic
chop down a
spirit.
pecan. I'm gonna go chop down a
Yeah.
pecan tree, fill it with water, let it sit there for 3 years, and then bottle it, and you'll have this.
That's awful.
This is awful. This is terrible.
Oh
Matt.
my god.
Oh, he's gonna spit it back out.
He's got that look on his face. I know.
Oh,
Matt's doing the double wink thing.
Oh,
I'm
over
looking for
there.
the spit bucket.
Okay.
Where is it?
Okay.
Yeah, that's
the wine
that's a no
tasting
go.
spit
I don't know
bucket.
if I can take another drink of it.
I don't have enough.
Why is my throat going
Sorry,
numb?
this guy.
You know what
Oh
is
my
the
gosh!
stuff that
Did
you?
you just? Should I just? I'm just gonna
What do you
try.
have-
I'm not
Just try it.
What is the stuff you spray in the back of your throat when you have a throat ache?
That's exactly what I was just fixing to say.
Chloroseptic.
That's
Yes.
exactly what that
Yes.
is.
It tastes like chloroseptic.
It's awful.
It's terrible, dude.
Oh,
Why would
look
you
at
do
Mama's,
this?
Okay.
Look at Mama's face.
Yeah, this
So
is-
okay, we all side with.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like, I didn't think we'd ever find anything worse than the.
Okay, good job, Amelia.
Where's
I'm
the
with you.
Malort?
No.
We're doing Malort.
I'll drink
tasting
Malort
next.
over this.
Yes, I will. I will.
Good God, man.
Well, we know you
exactly
got-
what
you're
that
glutton
tastes
for
like,
punishment.
though, is that.
It's chloroseptic.
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
You got some water? I'll go dump out the glasses. I almost feel bad for that.
I've got a beer.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not drinking.
Okay, we're gonna save that for our.
That's the new.
People you don't
yeah.
like.
No, that's the
Yeah.
new Whistle Pig.
that's the smokehouse.
Smokehouse.
Yeah.
Smokestack or whatever
we're
it
getting
was.
rid of that shit.
Oh God!
Okay.
Oh God! No,
Okay, so
no.
so
What is
this
that?
was
That's the-
one
the dumb
non-alcoholic
one.
spirit that we tasted. I'm going to let you know a little secret. Okay.
Okay.
There is a company called Lyres, Lyre''S. It's from Australia. They make an entire line of non-alcoholic spirits, and they have some ready-to-drink cans as well. Stuff that's similar to like an Aperol
Use the
Spritz.
door, wow.
And they have something that's very similar to Prosecco, and that's amazing. So,
Oh.
if you are with someone who is not going to drink, but you want to celebrate
Don't get
an
that.
occasion, for an example, like an anniversary,
Yeah.
they have the Lyres Classico is what they call it, and it comes in a champagne bottle, so you can go through the entire theatrics and the pageantry of opening a bottle of champagne for a special event. It's entirely non-alcoholic, and it tastes amazing. And I love these guys. And in the bartending world that I'm in, there is an event that actually is happening in a couple of weeks. It's called Tales of the Cocktail. It's in New Orleans. And last year, Tales of the Cocktail, Lyres won Best New Product. And this is the first time ever a non-alcoholic product
Yeah.
won Best New Product in the world of bartenders and beverages. So that one is amazing, and that's what I have at Locality. So
Okay.
whenever I have someone who's not imbibing, whether it's a lady who may be pregnant with child,
Yep.
or someone who just does not drink but wants to be included in the social activities, you want to be with your
cool.
friends.
Yeah.
But maybe you don't. Maybe you're tired of just getting.
What are you talking
a
about?
Sprite with
They've
grenadine.
always been able to do that. We've always called them the DD.
The DD, yes. So in case maybe they're just
Well,
been
but
that
maybe
several
they still want to drink. They want a good
They want
drink.
to be part of it.
Yeah.
They wanna
So
be
you
with
make
their
them a
friends.
cocktail.
So non-alcoholic
I'll make them
beer.
a cocktail without alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shirley Temple.
Yeah, that's what they're used to getting.
Yep.
But not if you come to Locality.
Okay. You
I'm
get-
going to make you something special.
Well,
and then
speaking
the
of-
other friends are going to be looking at your cocktail saying, what is that?
What is that? Which
Maybe I want one.
we've all done before.
Yes, that's a
We've all
that's a
come in
nightly
there and go, "Hey,
occurrence.
what is that?" So speaking of Locality and events, why don't you go ahead and tell us about the next event?
So we've been alluding to this.
We have been.
July 14th.
July 14th. And this is also
Wait.
oh, here
We
go.
got to stop. You You said
What?
How do you say
July.
July.
There we go. Mama Bear.
I want to make sure it's
Sir.
not
How do you say July?
July.
July, is that what you just said? Or is it
Are you from
July?
Texas?
It's not my July.
No, sir.
It's not my.
Oh, wait a
lie.
minute. Do we need to shut this podcast down right now?
Oh no.
I've been here for 15 years, 16 years.
Where'd you come
It's-
from?
Arizona.
Oh, okay, well,
Yeah, it's okay, Mama Bear. Like
long as you don't
July,
say the C
July
word.
is perfectly appropriate.
Yeah.
July.
July.
What can I say when I drink
July.
my Texas comes out?
You have to
Yep.
say July,
July.
How do you say June?
How do you say June?
June.
June. You don't say June.
June. It's
Or July. It's July.
July.
June.
I want to make
I mean,
sure.
these cats are weird. Don't pay any attention to them. I mean, really.
It gets weirder the later this goes
Yeah, I was going to say, the
on.
longer the podcasts go, it gets worse. Don't worry.
The last podcast that I was on, it was like 3 hours.
3 and some
That's
change. Yeah.
change.
What part of Arizona?
Tucson.
I love Tucson.
yeah.
Arizona's a
Tucson. See, it's not Tucson.
It is not. It is not Tuscan. It is not.
Okay.
No.
So before we end tonight, I
We're
just
not
want to make this.
anywhere close to that.
I know,
by the way.
I know. But before we do, I
get
want to
into it.
talk about
Well, hold on. Did you say end tonight or
yes,
end tonight?
end.
End it.
I thought you
End.
said end tonight. I'm like,
No.
I don't know what that word
Before
means.
it
End.
ends.
End tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not-
Before we end,
Yeah.
I want to make sure we talk about rural
Rural?
rural
That's the toughest word
Rural?
to
It
I
is.
swear to God.
King of
virtue signaling.
The French or
Yeah,
something.
rural
Probably.
Yeah, rural.
virtue signaling.
Okay, we'll get to
Because
that.
What is
yeah,
that?
Yeah. Who
yeah. I
knows?
found I figured out what it is.
I guess we're going to end
So
on
I
that-
have to explain it.
I
Yeah.
guess we're going to end on that note
Yeah.
later, but we got to
We're
talk
gonna say
about
that
the
later.
event.
All right, let me
Yep.
get to this. We were teasing
The event.
it.
I am
July
so excited for this.
So we've done a few fundraisers, and the crawfish boil went over so well, and it kind of empowered me just to keep pushing to do fun things. So one night, I'm not sure which spirit was involved in this, but I decided. No, here's why I chose.
It wasn't Kentucky 74.
Wasn't that?
Nope.
Do not have that. In July
Yeah.
15th on a Saturday, Bridgeport, in case you don't know this, is having Christmas in July. And we've had this will be third year in a row, and it's a huge event. It starts at the OHV park and it's essentially like a parade of Jeeps or off-road vehicles.
You could have just said a parade of middle-aged white women in their Jeep Wranglers.
Yes. I learned the term a mall crawler.
Mall crawlers.
That's a
yes.
thing. That's
True
a thing.
statement. True statement.
Yes. So anyways, it's a celebration of these off-road vehicles, and the purpose of the Christmas in July is why they call it Christmas in July. Is it's a toy drive for the Bridgeport Santa Cops,
Yeah.
right? And that's another thing that Locality has worked with and to help raise some money for that, so they can provide toys for kids whose families may not be able to afford a lot of toys for their
cool.
kids in December. So we figured, I'm like, well, may as well get a head start in July. So Christmas in July, a lot of Jeeps, a lot of new Ford Broncos, which I
Oh,
can't wait
those
to
are
see
hot.
how these
Oh,
show
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
This is gonna be great. Some Land Rovers, this is gonna be great. So it's not just Jeeps. It's anybody who has a 4-wheel drive vehicle and wants to show off.
Okay.
Come on down to Bridgeport.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. There's gonna be a concert, and Locality will have quite a few beverages to offer. By the way,
Let's throw a 4x4 sticker on the Tesla and cruise
do
through
that
there.
one.
I mean, it is all-wheel drive, isn't it?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
double dream motorcycles, I
Yeah.
guess, whatever. But anyway, so that's happening on Saturday. So my mind, I kind of
We all know how that works.
Yes. So I sniff out opportunities whenever possible, and I'm thinking, wow, we're going to have a lot of people from out of town coming in the night before
Yeah.
in their vehicles. What if we had a car wash? And then one step further, what if we make it a dad bod car wash?
Ah.
Yeah, let's get
And
out
then your
there.
next
Yeah.
thought was like, I know the Whiskey Bros.
Hey,
The dad. I identify as Dad Bod Plus.
It's
Yeah.
Me too.
it is on. It is on.
That's how he sold it
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
I came over there. and-
I've already got my Daisy Dukes picked out.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what I told the chapter today. I was like, I want Daisy Dukes,
Yep.
like the short
Hiking
On the
boots.
and I want your half shirts.
Okay,
Oh,
hold
yeah.
on. Now, I've
need
been
the
told there's a
mesh
strict
shirt.
policy if you have to wear, like, you don't take your jeans off, right?
Normally we don't.
Okay.
Normally we're not allowed to wear shorts.
yeah.
Okay.
But
Unless
Mama
the boss,
does.
unless the boss
Yeah.
says we're wearing shorts.
this is definitely a special case.
yes.
Yes.
So I think
Yes.
shorts
Okay,
and
Shorts.
maybe the Vest.
Oh, the cuts will definitely
The cuts
be
will
worn.
be there,
Yeah.
even
The
with a
cuts
half
will-
T-shirt
yeah,
with my gut hanging
Yeah.
out. You know,
Yeah,
so.
the cuts don't come off.
That's right.
They're gonna be nice and shiny and clean after the end
Yeah.
of this.
Wash all the
On a
sweat
side
stains
note,
off of them. Yeah.
That'll make for a good
So the-
sunburn.
Thus the Dad Bod Car Wash
Dad
is born.
bod car
Yeah.
wash.
Okay.
I mean, because you go to car wash every now and then. Most bars will do something. You have a nice little
Yeah, it's usually hot chicks in
car
bikinis.
wash, right? You get the hot girls in there washing your car.
It's going to be so much better.
I mean, that's
I
so
agree.
cliche.
Yeah.
I
Come on,
agree.
that's outplayed. Let's do something
A
different.
boob might hit your
Yeah.
windshield, and this car
Well,
wash is
embarrassing
gonna
it may
a
be-
belly might fall.
It may still be a boob. It just be a hairy one.
A man boob.
I love it.
Yeah, but so that's how I saw. So the story when I came in the bar, it was just me, these two clowns. I don't know where they were, but he comes and he tells me he gets to dad bod. I said, "Shut up, we're in." And I immediately text those
Say
guys.
less.
That's
He's like, he sends us a text. I just signed us up for the most incredible, greatest thing on the face of the planet. And anybody
Like, I'll tell you about it later.
Shit. What
Yeah, what did he do now?
that's pretty much how it goes when Matt
It's gonna be at
messages me, too. I'm
Locality,
like,
so
done.
God knows.
Oh, and
what
it's gonna.
be.
There's gonna be drinks. It's gonna be great music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so
it's
go ahead.
like
sorry.
it's gonna be a blast.
Yeah.
And I will mention that once again, using my voice that I have, I reached out to some of my other supplier friends and people who work with different brands, and the perfect one came to mind.
The perfect one.
Perfect one. So there's a company that makes some premium mixers like Bloody Mary mix, Margarita mix, Black Cherry, even Olive Brine for
Olive,
dirty
yeah.
martinis.
What company might this be, man?
This company goes by the name of Filthy Foods.
Oh yeah.
So when I gave them the pitch and my idea, then they jumped on board. This is totally on brand. So now it's going to be a filthy dad bod car wash.
I love it.
So everyone who comes through and gets their vehicle washed
Perfect.
can enjoy some free samples of the filthy Bloody Marys. We'll make some black cherry margaritas,
Yeah.
maybe some dirty martinis, because why not?
Why not?
And enjoy their wonderful products. They have some great black cherries, and they also make olives that are stuffed with different things. So you can purchase blue cheese stuffed olives, a nice little
Those are
hot
so
pepper
good.
stuffed olives. That's my favorite. And there's one with like little gherkin stuffed olive.
I like
so
the
that's good in a
garlic.
Bloody Mary, right?
Garlic stuffed olives.
So I'm super excited to be working with Filthy Foods on this one. This is going to be great. And once again, it's going to be a lot, almost too much exposure for Guardians of the
not
Children.
possible.
I think
Yeah, no.
we've got to
It's gonna
preface
be
this
awesome.
event with, ladies and gentlemen, raise your expectations. That's
right.
That's it. So if you are questioning, like, what I want to help out, what can I do? Well, come on down to Bridgeport, Halsell Street, visit Locality
Yeah.
on Friday, July 14th.
14th.
And get your
5 to 9, 5
get
to
your
9.
filthy car washed and then
Yeah.
enjoy some filthy drinks and open those wallets.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
you
Bring
can-
some
As
cash.
silly as we're
Make
making
your-
this all sound, the what it's for,
Yeah.
It's like
extremely
it's
serious.
100% going
Yeah.
to kids.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All of the money
That's
goes
right.
to the
Every
Guardians
bit.
of Children. And here, this is also how I sold the the crawfish boil. I'm paraphrasing now. I'm like, if you hate children, then don't donate.
the eyes
I'm just
are
gonna say
upon
that
you.
out there. I'm just like,
Listeners.
oh, okay, yeah. If you hate kids, that's fine.
Yes.
You know, you do you. That's whatever.
Stay home then.
But the companies that donate and help out, they've proven that they actually want our children to grow up and have a wonderful life.
Yeah,
So
and if you,
on the topic of money,
Mhm.
how can people give if they want to, and how if people don't show up with cash that day, how
So we have a card reader.
perfect?
We can take any type of payment through card. We have we also have Cash App and we have Venmo.
All right.
okay, user or like ID names for those, what would, like if somebody anonymous is listening to this right now and they want to say,
Well,
I
and
have
we'll
$100
put
to
'em-
give to y'all.
We'll post it on our.
So
Definitely.
you can
Pages stuff
go
too,
to any of our. You can go to our Facebook page.
I tried, I got zucked. So
Which is
Okay, so
And
GOC.
it goes to
GOC
our
Big Sandy.
link page, like our.
can we just say
link-
what your Venmo is and tell people to
start
send
giving
it?
out.
That means she'd have
post
to look
it
it up
on Facebook?
okay, hold on. Let's
I
not.
still have to do that
I don't
for
want to
mine,
walk on
yeah.
Heath. Say their Facebook name clearly, where people know where to go to.
Well, this one says GOC
This is very
Big Sandy.
specific. Yeah.
So GOC Big
Big
Sandy,
Sandy.
on
Just
yeah,
search GOC Big Sandy.
Yes,
on
sir.
Facebook.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And then it'll take you to our link tree, and it'll give you out every bit. We have an online store even for like our merchandise and stuff. So it'll take you everywhere you need to go if you go.
Guardians of the Children, GOC Big Sandy. Search for them on
But
Facebook.
the theme is you don't have to have a motorcycle. You don't have to have a patch to really help.
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
The only thing that you have to 100% have within your heart is our mission.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's what you have.
Are you looking up your Venmo information?
I don't have Marvin. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Well, we
I'm-
can.
Well,
Well,
figure
we'll
out
put it
later.
on our Facebook
we'll get it.
post.
We'll
We'll
all
post
out
it
there,
out there.
for sure.
Yeah.
And then I guess if you're one of those scumbags that show up in like your Bentley and get your car washed and leave without getting paying a donation, do y'all have a 1% patch on your?
We do not.
You can't go after these people.
But we do.
Yeah, just don't be that
Like,
person.
yeah, just don't be that person. But
Yeah.
Well, I
there
think
should be some
the way that we're going to have it set up is they're going to have to pay before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
you have to go through us girls before you even get to the dad bod.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes
good deal.
that's
Okay.
Yeah.
more difficult than the guys.
You have to
Yes.
go
That's
through,
more intimidating.
You
So
have
that's
to go
what they're
through
doing.
us.
They're putting the ladies up front so that we don't run nobody off.
And I heard
Before they
rumors.
pay.
I heard rumors of pigtails and pom poms. That's all I'm saying.
Dude, I like it. I like it.
And they're not talking about me either.
No.
I'm
Yeah.
committed.
That's
if
what
it-
you get to see before you come to get
Before
to
you
the
get
dad
there.
bod.
So everybody's
Right,
like,
so-
This
shit,
is
yeah,
gonna
this is going to be the greatest car wash ever. Here's a few $100, and then they get to
Yeah.
all of us, and they're like,
Oh my god.
And okay, so if you roll up
what I
and you
got?
don't give any money,
We will
you don't
slash
get your
your
car
tires.
washed. Yep.
yeah, we'll piss on your tires.
Yes, we will.
I will.
Yeah.
I will do a burnout in the middle of your hood.
there we go.
Yeah.
And he's not talking about with his bike either. You said you was going to have cut off blue jean shorts on. So.
It'd be easy. It'd be easy.
Good God.
No, but seriously, it's going to be a lot of fun.
And you know what else is great about this too is I've been getting feedback from just the community and a lot of people nearby. They're like, "This is amazing. We want to be part of this." I've gotten quite a few people that want to be volunteers for it too. They're just not associated with Guardians. They're
Come
just
on.
like, "This sounds like fun. I want to do it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go. Okay, come on down.
Yeah, us two.
You're gonna have a great time.
Just from us posting it, I've got people contacting me saying, I think he knows you, Chad Miller.
Ah, Liberty.
Yeah, so he contacted me.
Liberty.
Yeah, so I told him, I said, come on. I said, just come on. I said, bring your cutoffs. We'll
Yep.
put you on a car, bro.
I love that
So,
man.
but just like people like that, that's just they've texted me and said, man, what can we do? So we're gonna try to make it big.
And I'm doing this right in front of Locality.
Yeah.
If you ever been, we're on
Yeah.
Halsell Street, which we refer to as Main Street in Bridgeport. And
Everybody does.
I want everybody to see this. Anyone who happens to be in the vicinity of Bridgeport
Yeah.
is going to know what's going on.
Even if you want to walk up, and donate some cash, there's
Absolutely.
what,
Sure. Come on.
1860
You just
pizza
wanna
to
walk in?
eat. There's Oak and Eden if you want to buy
Yeah.
a bottle
You
of
got
whiskey.
the Mexican food joint.
Yeah, Crazy Pablo's.
Crazy
Yeah.
Pablo's
And then, is
there.
Baja still open up the street?
Oh, I love Baja. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're there.
Yeah, and then you got Locality, obviously, to sit and have a cold cocktail
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, and we'll sing to you.
You don't
if
have
you
to
want
get your
some
car
music.
washed. You
We'll
can
sing
show up
to
and
you.
eat and drink
No,
and
and
We're
donate
just
some
going to
money.
play like
We'll
Def
also-
Leppard on loop.
Yep.
Yes.
Nonstop.
We'll
Pour some
also
sugar
have
on
our
me.
booth
Yeah.
there.
Hey, we
Okay.
do
Awesome.
have a big giant party speaker.
Oh,
You can bring.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
well,
we
I've
do.
got speakers
It's
on
got
the patio.
Flashy,
Oh, okay.
flashy
We can
lights.
just, I can just crank that up to
But this
11.
has flashy
Yeah.
lights, bro.
we got
Well,
flashy
flashing lights would be
lights.
good, but this will be daytime. And you know what? I say 5 to 9 p.m.
Doesn't
We're
mean
gonna
it ends.
begin
Yep.
at 5 p.m.
Yeah. That's when the party
Locality has
starts.
to close at midnight, by the way. We close at midnight on Friday.
Yeah, but that's when it becomes a private party.
Event.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, anything could happen.
Never say never.
Yep.
Yeah.
We will not
right.
say no.
So we'll
Yes.
silly event, but serious circumstances.
Yeah.
serious,
Exactly.
serious charity for sure.
We have to have fun
Yeah,
in between everything else, though.
yeah,
For sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would love to hear a listener of ours say, "Hey, I want their Venmo or their Cash App just so I can send." So we'll get that
Yeah.
information from you because I really hope that somebody listening is going to say, "I would like to send them 20, 50, 100.
Yeah, I
whatever."
need to get everything from you because I'm
100,000.
going to the messenger Wednesday, so I need to get everything.
Oh, they need to be there for this.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Definitely. So okay.
I know the
I'll get
owner
the
of
paper.
that place, so I'm going to try to get all of them over
Oh,
there.
it's a no-brainer. Like this is a massive community outreach.
So
Sure.
are we concluding with your topic of rural entitlement? Is that
Oh
what you-
God.
No, not rural entitlement. Rural virtue signaling.
Virtue signaling. What is that?
What?
Yeah, what is virtue signaling?
I don't know.
Is it like a fake accent or something?
Yeah, what does that mean? What does
Somebody
that mean?
telling you should do this while they're not joining in.
I think I grew up in Decatur. I don't know what the hell you're
Yeah.
talking
Yeah,
about.
so our first like real exposure.
He grew up in South Lake, if that tells you anything.
Oh, okay.
So this is
Yeah.
where, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I drive a Tulsa.
Yep.
Yeah, of course South Lake wasn't South Lake when I grew up there, but
No, it was fields at one point.
They were
Yes.
still making people cook their food though.
we've always been rural. We just
Rural.
kind of moved with rural, you know. But okay, so our first exposure to virtue signaling was on mass scale was, well, with the mask,
What?
right?
COVID mask.
With the COVID
Oh,
mask.
yes.
The face
Yeah.
diaper. Face
And-
diaper.
Face diaper.
Yeah, the face diaper, you know, and it was like this sense that if you didn't like go along
You're killing
with
millions
this,
of
then
people.
it's your show that you're doing a virtuous thing, right? Right. So what's the rural? Your best guess. What's the rural version of that?
Not littering.
No, well, okay, yeah, maybe. So I recently went to a rural party. I won't say whose gathering this was.
Man, were you invited? Ted?
No.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, no.
Yeah, you
Must have
didn't.
been a very professional party.
Must have been
Right,
professional.
right.
That's why we weren't there. Yeah.
Yes.
It was a family party, but okay. So they had calf fries,
Right on.
right?
Yeah.
Come on with it. Yeah, I'm
But what I witnessed at that party,
Raw or cooked?
cooked,
Okay.
fried calf fries, which are great.
I mean, I've never had them.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But there was so much pressure to eat the calf fries
By whom? I wouldn't.
by everybody.
Yeah.
Like, oh, these like, just because they're calf fries. Oh, these calf fries are great. You need to have some calf fries.
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
and I was like,
Was it
wow, this is a really good example of what virtue signaling looks like for rural people.
But for
You show
everybody
up-
at this table that showed up at a party with calf fries, be like, shit,
Oh,
yeah.
That's what I was going
I'm
to
gonna have
ask.
some
Was,
calf
what was
fries.
the
Yeah.
what was the group? Was it a bunch of city folk?
No, it was a bunch of country folk.
And they were still trying to push calf fries down?
Yeah, to the non-country folk.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like you couldn't be part of this like
How did
club,
How do they delineate from who's country and who's non-country?
I mean, you can usually tell.
whether they ate calf fries or not.
okay, all right.
Yeah, you get it?
Yeah,
You get
okay,
it?
I see.
Yeah. For some reason, calf fries, I mean,
So if you move to Texas
That's
from
the line.
California,
they're
just
okay.
eat some calf fries.
They're okay. I'll eat them.
fit right in.
It's like
I like them.
but there's something about it just being cow balls,
Yeah, but
right?
have you ever had tongue?
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah, but that's
Fantastic.
yeah, but
Brain,
it doesn't.
but not tongue.
But
I've
it
never had cow
lacks
brains.
the it lacks
Lingua?
the
Lingua
status.
tacos? You never had lingua tacos?
It lacks the what?
it lacks
I
the
don't like
status that cow
Oh,
balls.
you
I mean,
had
I've had it,
Oh,
but
okay.
I don't like. Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like most other cultures, except for the
Americans?
Americans, eat
Eat
every
everything.
bit of the animal.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm not. I don't have a problem with testicles.
No.
Yeah.
I used to be a cowboy, so we would do it fresh.
Same
So-
here.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
stocked
But it's like
all
you
your
cook all
walls.
this great food, and then you're like, "Oh, let's eat the testicle." Yeah,
Or you can supplement the great
More
food
of a
with
dare.
those.
Right.
That's what it sounds like.
and you make a big deal about it,
Yeah.
right? You make a
see
big
that?
deal about it and tell everybody, all the non-testicle eaters, you're going to tell them, okay, you got to do this. You got to eat the
look at
testicle.
you. Don't eat balls.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Good for us. Yeah.
So it was a good example.
Well, if you've eaten a hot dog, you've eaten every part of the
Oh,
animal.
yeah. Ain't no
Oh
joke.
yeah, hot dogs are great.
Yeah.
And spam.
Spam. Yeah. You've,
Spam's great.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You can't beat a
Yeah.
good old fried spam
Oh,
sandwich.
okay. No.
Getting hungry now. Just
I
thinking
know.
about it.
and
We
we've all
fry up
eaten
some balls and eat something real quick.
We've all eaten Jack in the Box tacos.
Yeah,
So.
we have.
That is definitely
God knows
an
what's in
unknown
those.
source.
Yeah. That's
No idea what's in there.
None.
crickets.
But we all eat
If
them.
it's inflation proof, it's kind of wondering.
That's a good point.
It's like 20 years ago, those things have only gone up in price 20 cents or
Oh,
something
yeah.
like that. So,
Yeah, if that, right?
yeah, if
Beer,
that, I don't think.
pizza, and Jack in the Crack tacos.
Jack in the Box tacos.
Yeah.
So funny testicle story. We,
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we're down for it.
Okay.
Do you want to tell the story?
No.
No, this was she wasn't there. We did a bunch of day work in one day and cut a bunch of calves, and we were having a fish fry at our church, and so all of us cowboys were the ones that were cooking the catfish, and so we would throw in the testicles while we were cooking the catfish, and we'd set them off to the side for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't enough for everybody at the church, you know.
Yeah, those
and
are the prized possession.
it is absolutely. We worked hard for those things,
Yes,
and
sir.
so we were sitting there, and there was a little old lady, and she was our church secretary, and she came up. We'd been cooking for a couple of hours, and she came up, and she was like, "Y'all, those were the best hush puppies I've ever had in my life."
No, she didn't.
and so we said, "Well, thanks," and she walked off, and we're like, "Hush puppies?
what is she
We
talking
didn't, we
about?
didn't cook any hush
Hush
puppies." Well, she kept coming back, and
Sweet
kept
baby
saying,
Jesus.
you know, these are good hush puppies. And then finally, the main cowboy that we had done the day working for, he told her, he said, "Ma'am, those aren't hush puppies." And she said, "What are they?" And he said, "Well, me and the guys yesterday did a bunch of day working, and we cut a bunch of calves." And she goes, "What does that mean?" You know, and so he explained it to her. She wouldn't even look at any of us. She just walked off. We were like, "But you liked them," you know?
I swear to God, 9 times out of 10, if you give somebody those battered up and fried, and don't tell them what it is,
Because it's
they're going to like it.
they're
Put a little
tender.
horseradish and ketchup sauce, mix it all up.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm hungry. Well, on the note of eat more testicles,
Eat more testicles.
Eat more testicles.
Don't eat vegetables. Eat testicles.
I think that's a good place to wrap this
Yeah.
up. July 14th,
Yep, 5 to 9.
Come out.
Yep.
Or
Bring
earlier.
your
You
wallet.
come out there
It's
early.
going to a good cause.
great cause, yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be a freaking blast.
It is.
If you can't
Right.
come out, we're going to find their Venmo and
Yes,
Cash App
I've sent-
info.
Yep.
I've
Go to
sent
Yeah,
their
you sent it to us.
go to their website and go to their Facebook page, Guardians of the Children, GOC.
Yep.
Big
chap-
Sandy.
Big Sandy.
chap-
Big
okay.
Sandy chapter.
All right, then that's a
And
good
then
place to wrap
Locality Bridgeport on Instagram
Yep.
and
Heck
Facebook.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll share
And
all that.
Feel
when we go.
free to take pictures, post videos, make your own damn TikTok if you want.
Yeah.
There's going to be plenty of content.
Plenty. Yeah.
Your imagination.
Yeah, we're going to bring the
run
cameras and the
wild.
drones and
Just
Right them all
share
up.
it all and just let everybody know how many fun things and how great that Bridgeport has come along these past few years. You know what? Just real quick before you finish up, I will tell you that my personal goal for this year is I am setting that town ablaze with stuff that I'm doing at Locality.
Figuratively, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just hang on
Obviously.
and enjoy the ride.
Yeah, Locality's already been a huge contributor to the environment of Main Street, Bridgeport.
Big time.
Right on. Good work, Matt.
It's going to get crazy.
Sure.
I would like to thank Matt so very much for everything that Matt has done for us for the last 3 years. Not only have we found a brother within our family, but his kids love them. His wife is beautiful, but it's amazing to have somebody that you just meet at a random event and then turn out to be a part of what you are. And thank you so much for having us tonight.
bet. Oh,
yeah,
It
it's
is-
It was a
blast.
blast.
It's a
I am
blessing,
so
too.
glad y'all came on.
I love
Awesome.
the energy at this table, the emotions, the joy, the heartfelt messages. It's been a freaking awesome podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That has been
Definitely.
awesome.
I would also like to say our mission statement.
You
if that's
betcha.
okay.
you
Yes.
bet.
Please.
Can you read it without crying?
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay.
The mission of the Guardians of the Children is to recognize and react to child abuse and educate the public to do the same, to serve as advocates, to provide strength, stability to families in crisis, and to be the answer and prayer of an abused child or teen for courage, support, and protection. Don't let your silence drown out their cries.
Beautiful. All right. We'll end on that.
That's awesome.
Bubba, Mama Bear, Matt,
Appreciate you.
Thank you for
thank you
coming
all
out.
so very
Thanks
much.
for having us.
Thanks for everybody that's listened. Take that message and run with it. Good night.
Adios.
You've been listening to the Whiskey Bros Around the Table. convivir con los hermanos Whiskey.